Okay, welcome everyone. This is Thanasoulis-Cerrachio, and I'm so excited to introduce to you Dr. Ivan Misner. Dr. Misner is the chairman and founder of BNI, which, if you don't know, is the world's largest networking organization. Last year alone, BNI members generated over $3 billion worth of business for themselves via the BNI network. So it's impressive, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. Dr. Misner's PhD is from the University of Southern California, and he is a New York Times bestseller times over. His latest book is coming out in January of 2012, and we're going to talk about that as well in a little bit. Dr. Ivan Misner has been called the father of modern networking, and also by CNN, and networking guru by Entrepreneurs magazine. So he's considered quite an expert in the field of networking, and I know that that is a topic that all of our listeners care deeply about. Welcome, Dr. Misner.
Thanks for having me on.
So, BNI is an organization, the world's largest networking organization. I myself am a proud member for the past 2.5 years. But in your own words, can you tell our listeners what BNI is all about?
Well, BNI is a business and professional networking organization that allows one person per profession to join a group. So there's one lawyer, one banker, one chiropractor, one travel agent. The members get together every week and pass each other referrals. As you mentioned, last year we did about $3 billion worth of referrals. We passed over 6 million referrals worldwide. Now, just so you know, $3 billion in business, that's the same as the gross domestic product for the country of Liechtenstein. Okay, it's a small country, I know, but still, how cool is that we as a business organization could meet every week and generate as much business for our members as a small nation in the world? Now, I'm looking for a bigger country next year, but I still think it's pretty cool.
It is extremely cool. Thank you. And I know that BNI is founded on the principle of what you call VCP, so visibility plus credibility equals profitability. Can you explain that for the people listening?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me start with something that kind of lays it up. I call it networking disconnect. The networking disconnect, I started thinking about when I went to an event in London a couple of years ago, and I was speaking to 500 people there, and I asked the audience, I said, how many of you are here today hoping to just possibly maybe sell something? Raise your hand. Everybody in the audience raised their hand. I said, great. How many of you are here today hoping to buy something? And nobody raised a hand. Not one person raised their hand. And that is the networking disconnect. People show up at networking events wanting to sell things, but nobody's there to buy anything. And so if that's the reason you're going to a networking event, you're going there for the wrong reason. You need to understand the VCP process, which I believe is the foundation for building a successful referral business. It's a chronological process. It begins with visibility. First, you have to be visible in the community. People have to know who you are and what you do. Then you establish credibility. That's where people know who you are, they know what you do, and they know you're good at it. They may know you're good at it because they've seen you operate, or they know people who've done business with you, or maybe they've done business with you. So you're at credibility. But only then can you get to profitability, and that's where people know who you are, they know what you do, they know you're good at it, and they're willing to pass you referrals. If you're talking about business like BNI, you're talking about referrals for your business. If you're talking about career networking, then you're talking about making connections. They're willing to connect you with the right people. So when I say profitability, I don't necessarily mean money. I mean profitability in the sense that you have a reciprocal relationship where you're both there supporting and helping one another. And the VCP process takes time. It's not the idea of networking is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's about building a solid foundation for a long-term business. And VCP truly is the foundation of that. If your network is a mile wide and an inch deep, it'll never be very successful, or you won't be successful with it. And so your network needs to be both wide and in places deep. You need to go deep with some relationships and get through credibility and profitability. Make sense?
Yes, it does. How can people build those deep relationships, though? Can you give maybe 2 or 3 of the best strategies they could use to do so?